Welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio with this week's Sunday preview. Make sure to like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and Warcry content. Let's jump right in because we got some big ones coming. So, this week's Sunday preview: Avatar, Autarch, and Aspect Warriors. Eldari reinforcements inbound. Hot on the heels of the new Codex Aeldari comes a slew of reinforcements, which are all available for pre-order from next Saturday. Before we take a more in-depth look, here are the hobby highlights for next 7 days. And you can go take a look at that video. It's about 3 minutes long, but this is basically what they're showing off in it. So here we have first the Avatar of Khaine. Obviously, this model is absolutely beautiful. Has some minor flaws to it, which I think could be overall easily corrected. I think my main issue with the Avatar is probably, I don't mind this fire above his knees. That looks okay. But I don't like that the tabard is blowing in the opposite direction than all the fire. So all the fire is kind of like going left to right, but the tabard is blowing from right to left. So I don't know, very strange. I think it could be easily corrected one way or the other. But the actual model is absolutely sick, and I love the options. Definitely going to do a video on magnetizing the weapon and head options and also painting him. So make sure to tune in for that. The Avatar of Khaine is an absolute monster on the tabletop, going toe to flaming hot toe with the best that the 41st Millennium has to offer. As well as being a beast in combat, it also makes your Asuryani core units better, allowing them to reroll charges and ignore negative modifiers on combat attrition tests. So rerolling charges is obviously very good. And then also we've seen his stats, and he's an absolute beast. Having all incoming damage is definitely awesome. Nice and vulnerable save. Very strong. Hits hard, help out your army with attrition tests. Very, very nice. This may be one of the better pictures of the base. You can actually see like the fire kind of coming out of the cracks in the lava. Pretty cool. Definitely really like the overall look of the textured base. This model's absolute beast. He's got like the spear and like sort of like the Spartan looking helmet. And then here he definitely has more of like an elf demon kind of look. Really nice looking model. I think just a couple of small improvements would basically make this dude perfect. I'm definitely going to be picking that up. And the kit comes with a choice of 3 heads, 3 options for the Avatar's Wailing Doom weapon, an axe, a sword, and a spear. And then next we have the Shining Spears. These models are awesome, super clean. Really like them. I mean, this is obviously one of the nicest white paint jobs I've ever seen. These things look great. I would love to know what their technique was for this. I'm assuming it was airbrush. And then maybe some, just like some sort of inking down in like these little bits right here. And then, hand painted on the blue. Really, really nice. Yeah, these models are sick. Really awesome. And then riding into battle alongside the Avatar are the Shining Spears. They benefit from the upgrades to Aspect Warriors. So they normally have that 5+ save. We know you can give them the little shield. I can't think what it's called. Giving him a 4+ invulnerable save. Their speed, you can almost guarantee they'll be in the right place to make a charge with their laser lances. Increased strength, so they have a bonus strength on the charge. They have some short range shooting. Add them into a Samhan army to terrorize your opponent from turn 1. Samhan obviously has some pretty awesome rules that specifically benefit the bikes as well. The kit comes with helmeted or unhelmeted options, and you can build one as the Exarch with options to kit out their jet bike with a shuriken cannon and shimmer shield. as well as a choice of wielding a paragon saber or a star lance. So here he has the, I guess that's the star lance. And then you have the option for the paragon saber as well. Very nice looking models. Definitely looking forward to these. I like them with the helmeted heads. Anybody who's ever ridden a motorcycle before knows that you're not going to be wanting to rip around the 41st millennium with a bare head. Definitely awesome. And then obviously we see the shuriken cannon underneath, catapults on the two other bikes. Really like the new aesthetic of these bikes. I mean, basically it's like the bottom little like intake and the extra little set of like stabilizer fins. Just take these to the next level. And then previously they had like those kind of like flag poles on the back. They have like made that like a stubby little fin. And then the flag coming out. And then they have like the little ribbons on the back of their helmets. Yeah, these are awesome. They look great. Definitely going to be picking up some of these as well. And then the Autarch himself. So obviously this is the new one. The Autarch from Eldritch Omens box set is available separately for the first time. The ideal battle leader for the Aeldari army. They balance strategic brilliance with martial skill. Their path of command aura lets nearby core units reroll attack rolls of 1. They allow your army to use the command reroll stratagem twice during each phase. So normally you're restricted to 1 command reroll per phase. They let you do it twice. They give you 1s to reroll for nearby units. And then they have tons and tons of versatility to their equipment. The kit comes with options for the Starglaive, Scorpion Chainsword, and Shuriken Pistol, Reaper Launcher, Dragon Fusion Gun, and Death Spinner. You may also give your Autarch a Banshee Mask or assemble them without a helmet. I thought it came with the Mana Blasters also. And you get male and female torsos. It's fully compatible with the existing Autarch kit, and thanks to the new updated datasheet, you construct the Autarch of your dreams. So yeah, they did make it so that now you can completely intermingle the two Autarchs, and there's an updated datasheet. I did a video, it's got a link to that datasheet if you want to go over and print it off. But it's basically how it should have been, so that's just a little revision to the new codex. And then here we have the Rangers. I don't have to tell you, these models are awesome. And the Rangers are, I don't want to say an auto-include, but very nice. They're giving some much needed board control to the Eldar. The models look great, and they are definitely good for their points as well. So Rangers are a stealthy troop choice for the Aeldari army, armed with a deadly long rifle, which allow them to ignore the Lookout Sir rule. So obviously they can snipe characters, and you can't use Lookout Sir to protect them. They can snipe away at key targets with their cloaks protect them from returning fire. So they have the Ranger cloaks, Camellia Lion cloaks, whatever. So they have basically bonuses to their cover save. Very nice. And the kit comes with a range of assembly options, including 11 different heads. Options to include a gloom field or wire weave net in the hand of one of your Rangers, as well as a shrine to their god Khaine in one of the many martial aspects. So yeah, you see here, he's like deploying this little sort of like trap. And they've got some cool abilities, taking a couple inches off anybody that charges you and doing some mortal wounds. Also have the ability to shoot at units at deep strike. Man, it's so crazy too, because if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to look at the rule again specifically, but if you have these dudes in reserve and then somebody else deep strikes onto the board, you can pull this unit out of reserves when they deep strike onto the board and then shoot at them. And they were basically there the whole time, but they were hidden, and they're just like revealing themselves. Pretty cool ability. So then the Shroud Runners. So we essentially have like a driver of one of the new style bikes and then a passenger on the back who is basically a ranger. Has like the sniper rifle and everything. With a 14-inch movement and the fly keyword, Shroud Runners can zip around the battlefield, swiftly grabbing objectives and outmaneuvering enemy forces. As their scout brethren on foot, they ignore the Lookout Sir rule with their long rifles, making them a perfect unit for hit-and-run attacks. Kit comes with various build options for both the pilots and riders, including spotters and sharpshooters, mid-snipe, and a choice of 9 heads. Again, very nice kit. Each one has a scatter laser also. So these things for a decent points cost can actually dish out quite a bit of fire. And if you're playing against an army that has a low wound count characters in it, you can really use these dudes to pick out somebody that's either hiding behind a wall where you can't see them, or to like get that perfect shot on someone. And when you use their sniper ability with the Strands of Fate dice, you can guarantee mortal wounds by using it on the sniper roll. So if somebody only has like a couple wounds left and they're like hiding them, trying not to give up like objective points, or just hiding them in general so they don't die, these are a great unit to dig them out. With those guaranteed 6s and mortal wounds, they can definitely finish off somebody. Nice looking models too, really nice. And then the Combat Patrol Aeldari is coming. So we obviously just saw 1,000 Suns and Grey Knights got their Combat Patrol. Went over the value on those. The Grey Knight box came out to like $195, and the 1,000 Suns was $258. So with this one, it's $55 for the new Guardians, $55 for the bikes. So that is $165 plus $60 for the Wraithlord is $225. And then I think it's $35 for the Farseer. So $260. It might be $32. So between $255 and $260. So this one is a nice deal. Pretty nice composition. It has one new unit in it, which is the Guardians, which can be assembled either way. So that is definitely nice that it has one of the new units. Farseer is pretty much, you can have one in every army. So I think a Guardian squad and a Farseer are a pretty nice composition. Wraithlords they're pretty good. I mean, they're basically the Eldar dreadnoughts. They have a lot of versatility. You can build them for combat with a little bit of shooting. You can build them for primarily shooting with a little bit of combat. They're nice units. They're durable. But you don't see them in most armies, honestly. Just because there's better options for either speed or damage output. And then the Windriders, again, nice units. They can dish out a decent amount of damage with their shuriken catapults, and then either scatter laser or upgraded weapon on one in so many bikes. 2 units of them is probably good because you want to have 6 of them. 3 is not really going to do anything. But honestly, at $55 a piece, I would almost have rather seen them put like, a squad of Dark Reapers or a squad of Howling Banshees instead of the bikes. Or like the grav tanks are only $60. So, I mean, instead of the Wraithlord, maybe put in a Wave Serpent, or I don't know. I mean, it's a nice composition. It really is. Gives you good versatility. I think most people would use most of the units in this, and there's enough value in it. At $260 in value, at retail, you're basically getting about $110 worth of stuff for free. So if you were going to literally buy a Guardian squad, the Farseer, and either one unit of the Windriders or the Wraithlord, you basically get 2 units for free. So that is really good. I mean, it's a great deal. It's a nice composition. And even if you end up with 1 unit you don't use, it's still a great value. If you end up with 2 units you don't use, you basically broke even. So, and you still have 2 units that are just sitting around, so you could trade them to somebody, sell them off, whatever. I think this is a great value. I think it's a nice composition. could you have taken out the Windriders and put in some Rangers or some Shroud Runners instead? Or a Viper? Yeah, I mean, you could have. Or put in a tank instead of one of them. These choices, you could have. You could have. But, I mean, there's a lot of ways they could have, designed this. A lot of it has to do with probably power level also, so. So the Aeldari Combat Patrol is ideal for both to kickstart a brand new army or add extra units to an existing one. The heart of the set is a squad of Guardians. You can build them as Guardian Defenders to hold objectives, gun down enemies with shuriken catapults, and fire from their heavy weapons platform. Yeah, so you can have extra shots from the heavy weapons platform, or if you go with the Assault Guardians, they have like a platform that gives them some durability, which is nice. Get them a little closer. And they have some cool abilities when they're on objectives as well. They can alternatively build as Storm Guardians, a more aggressive unit suited to seize objectives from your foes. The box includes 6 Windriders, super fast jet bikes that can hurry your opponent's army with massed shuriken catapult firepower. Heavy support comes from the Wraithlord, a massive Wraith construct which can be equipped with a variety of Aeldari weaponry and devastating Ghostglaive. The force is led by Farseer, a peerless psyker who uses the power to enhance your army and curse your opponents. So what if you were building out, an army? Would you buy 2 of these? You wouldn't be mad having 2 Farseers, but realistically, you probably would run a Farseer and, maybe a couple Warlocks, or a Farseer and a Farseer on bike, or Warlock on bike, I should say. 2 units of Guardians, probably be a nice setup. 2 Wraithlords, not bad. Would you run 12 Windriders? Maybe overkill. I don't know. But easy force to build on too. So, and then Tempest of War Cards. Finally this week for the Warhammer 40,000 is the Tempest of War Cards pack. These decks let you generate missions for your match play games quickly. With thousands of combinations available, they'll really test your tactical prowess. With cards for deployment, primary objectives, secondary objectives, and special mission rules, this is an easy way to create incursion and strike force sized games. And then we have another announcement of the range rotation. If you're not familiar with that, let's see if it describes it. We recently announced the various models were being rotated out for the Warhammer 40,000 range of a game. Now, a second wave will leave the range on temporary basis. The following units will be going off sale on the 3rd of April. But if you order any of them between now and then, you'll be guaranteed to get one. They will eventually re-enter the range at some point in the future. So a bunch of old models going away eventually will come back. Servitor with multi-melta, Servitor with plasma cannon, Master of the Chapter, Armor, Masters of the Chapter. That's like a group of I want to say it's 4 Chapter Masters, different weapons, equipment. It's Master of Arms, Master of blah, blah, blah. Armor Through the Ages. I want to say that's 4 or 5 models, all with various old school looking armors. Space Marine Captain, the Lord Executioner. He's jump pack with the axe. The Librarian in Terminator armor. This is the plastic one. The majority of these models that we see here are all old metal that turned into resin kits. The Librarian in Terminator armor is still fairly relevant and actually is the HQ that's included with the Grey Knight Combat Patrol. So it is strange that he's going away. I guess they figured there'll be enough of them floating around with the Combat Patrols. If people need to get them, they can. Tech Marine is going away. Now, this is the old Tech Marine. This is not the Primaris Tech Marine. Chaplain with Jump Pack. Space Marine Commander. Now, this is a Firstborn Commander. He's got a bunch of equipment options. Not a bad model overall, but definitely looking dated, to tell you the truth. And that one's in plastic. Space Marine Captain. This is an old school one. The Heroes of the Chapter. So that was a lieutenant The chapter banner. Man, there was one other character, I believe. Lieutenant, chapter banner. And then I think it was like 5 intercessors in that also. It was basically a Dark Imperium Space Marine sprue that you only got one of in the kit. So it was, I want to say it was 8 models. I can't remember what the other one was. But obviously there's plenty of Primaris Lieutenants to choose from if you need this one. Last chance to get him for a while. There's a new Ancient model that came out recently. So you can just buy that one. The new one is way better than this old one anyway. And then obviously there's tons and tons of intercessors floating around. The new multi-part kit is much better. Tons more options. And then obviously assault intercessors as well. So. And then Astral Claws, Lugfoot Huron. A bunch of like Forge World units. Demis Patter, Democles Command Rhino. Severin, Loth, and Honor Guard. Kaysen, Sabius, and Sarai Karagon for the Red Scorpions. Landspeeder Tempest. The Iron Warriors Warpsmith. Huron Blackheart. Man, that sucks for Red Corsairs out there. I did a pretty cool Huron Blackheart conversion a while back out of Abaddon the Despoiler and sold that off with a army. That was really nice. Definitely using Abaddon, I mean, a little bigger than he probably should be, but I put him on a smaller base so that he was appropriate for game size. But, you know, he's pretty cool. Definitely a bad MFer in the lore and pretty good in game terms if you like the Red Corsairs. So maybe they will do a new model for him. It would be cool to see him get an update. But Red Corsairs is always kind of like a niche chaos army that's pretty popular. But, you know, right now it's tough for any chaos to be popular because they're just not great. Chaos Lord with Jump Pack and Lightning Claws. That's not a bad looking model. He's got that old school Raptor style backpack. A little bit like flat, to tell you the truth, though. And then we see a Warrior Acolyte. Not a bad model. I think you could probably... He looks like he's out of Necromunda, honestly, but... You know, obviously he's like Inquisition, so... if you had your eye on any of these miniatures, act fast and grab yours before they take their well-earned rest. And let's be real, okay? I know people don't like hearing it, but... These are going to disappear for like, you know, 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever. And when they come back, they're going to come back at higher prices. So some of these are, you know, obviously like the Librarian's already at like $35. Most of these are already, you know, fairly expensive for just one model, honestly. But like when some of them come back, they're going to come back with the new price increases if they didn't get one already. So like some of these OG characters are like $25 and $27. When they come back, they're going to come back probably at $35. Just being real with you guys. So, and then new from the Black Library, cool piece of art right there. Some assassins. Urdesh, the Serpent and Saint. So that is, doesn't say if it's going to be. There we go. Urdesh, the Serpent and Saint comes to paperback for the first time next week. In the heart of the Sabbat World's Crusade, Space Marines from the Iron Snakes chapter must guard a mighty weapon, the reincarnation of Saint Sabbat herself. Can brother Captain Pread and his warriors keep her safe? So lately we've seen all these reprint books that are coming back in paperback at, what is it, $19? Might be $16, I can't remember. Either $16 or $19. Assassinorum Kingmaker. So that's that art we saw. Definitely very cool. It's like Kalidas getting ready to jump down off of like a knight's head like statue with a Vindicator on top. Very, very cool. On the Night World of Dominion, a Vindicator assassin and Kalidas assassin are tasked with eliminating an increasingly unhinged monarch and safely steering a pro-imperial candidate to the throne. Sounds like something from modern day. Will they succeed Or will Dominion and the entire sector be plunged into chaos? Is this based on a true story? I mean, this sounds like... never mind, I don't want to get political. Assassinorum Kingmaker will be available in hardback, ebook, and MP3 formats. So hardback, I think those come out at $29, if I'm not mistaken. And then Horus Heresy Collection. 3 books from the Horus Heresy series are coming out in French for the first time. So I didn't realize that. When they put these little tags on here and the covers are in a different language, that makes perfect sense now. It's the first time it's being released in that language. So it may seem like common sense, but I did not pick up on it previously until just recently. So we got 3 books from the anthology, The Primarchs, Fear to Tread, and Sanguinius. I might have just made that up. But anyway, these 3 books are collecting together and available in choice of hardback and ebooks. And that is in French. Trader Rock, again in French. Finally, the Black Library this week is Trader Rock. It's available in French, following on from the Place of Pain and Healing and Cadian Honor. Minka Lesk and the rest of the Cadian 101 seeking both victory and an answer to a crucial question. What does it mean to be a Cadian in a galaxy without Cadia? Sounds like it's straight out of Star Wars. Obviously a lot of the lore and stuff like that, blends between these various games and movies. But yeah, pretty cool. Coming out in French. And then this week in Warhammer Plus launches some incredible new episodes on Wednesday. Plague Song is the latest and most disgusting episode of the animated anthology series Hammer and Bolter. Deathguard Sorcerer seeks to unleash a devastating plague upon the Imperium, aided, of course, by his nurgling familiar. I'll be followed in the near future by the glorious conclusion to The Exodite. Wait, what? This will be followed in the very near future by the glorious conclusion to The Exodite. So I'm pretty sure they only did a first episode of Exodite. They delayed and then finally released a second episode of Exodite. And then the glorious conclusion is going to be a third episode. Interesting. So I did not realize that was going to be like a super short series, but that's crazy. Warhammer Plus also has a new battle report this week featuring the devoted Adeptus Sororitas trying to defend their sacred shrine from the ferocious demons of Khorne. You can then learn about the legendary slayer Gotrek Gurnison and how he ended up in the mortal realms with grudges against some of the gods themselves in a new episode of Lore Masters. And then we see some other random Warhammer community stuff going on there. But the most important thing, in my opinion, and what is unexpected, and there's going to be a big announcement. There's a huge convention going on this week. If you are not a hardcore gamer or you're not familiar with like the competitive or like convention scene, Adepticon is going on this week. So from the 23rd through the 27th of March 2022, we have Adepticon. So on Thursday, there's an Adepticon Preview online. So Warhammer Community Channel will probably go live at 2 a.m. GMT or 9 p.m. CDT. And there's going to be some kind of announcement there. Probably going to be a big deal. And then the championship. That's a Warhammer 40k like tournament, I believe. Yeah, okay. Warhammer 40k tournament is on Thursday. And then Friday we have the Warhammer Age of Sigmar team event. Saturday is the team event for 40k day 1 and then team event for 40k day 2. So the actual preview is on the first day of Adepticon, which is Thursday. And that is 2 a.m. GMT or 9 p.m. CDT. So if you want to know what that huge announcement is, it's probably going to be something awesome. Last time we got the announcement of what it was like the new Kill Team box with the Corsairs, Nachmund. It was the Necromunda new game, which we haven't seen yet actually. And then quite a few other things. So I don't know what it's going to be, but it's probably going to be pretty awesome. So we'll see what that's all about. Definitely looking forward to that. They always have some pretty awesome announcement and kind of like a bonus for the people who come to these conventions. So I'm not sure. They'll probably offer those limited miniatures. There was one for Sigmar and one for 40k. It was like a Primaris Lieutenant with the shield and sword, I believe, and then a Orc Shaman. I can't remember. That might have been the store exclusives, but yeah, definitely going to be quite a bit going on this week with those releases. Obviously, a huge week for the Eldari. So if you did not pick up your copy of Eldritch Omens because you didn't see enough stuff in there that you wanted, or you're holding out for the Start Collecting box, they are coming. We'll see about the prices. I will let you guys know as soon as I get the official prices in a future video. I'm assuming these Sky Runners are going to come in at $60. I'm assuming the Rangers will come in at 60 as well, same as the Aspect Warriors. The other Autarch is, I think, 28 or 29. I think this one's probably going to be at least 35, maybe more. Shining Spears, they're on bikes. There's 3 of them. The Windriders are 55. So I think the Shining Spears are going to be at least 60, maybe 65. That's my guess. And then the Avatar is massive. So I would expect the Avatar, please don't kill me here. I would expect the Avatar to come in at, I think he's going to be $150. I think he'll be $150. Maybe $170, because we've seen a lot of the bigger models coming out at like $170. So we will see. Obviously, I will let you guys know as soon as I find out. But that is it for today. If you enjoyed the video, all kinds of reactions, reviews, and news, unboxings, and then obviously all kinds of painting, modeling, tutorials, etc. I will do a magnetization and painting video for the Avatar and keep you updated with the prices as soon as I find them out officially. But that is it for today. If you enjoy this type of content for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and Warcry, make sure to like and subscribe. I am Warhammer Man. This is Warhammer Man Studios, and I'm out of here.